So with that being said, my name is Randy Watkins, and today we have Christian here with us. Excited about learning a little bit more. I know just a little bit, but I know you just rolled out the new company, so I'm excited to hear about that as well. So Christian, if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit kind of what brought you to this point in life, man.
All right. Well, 7 minutes is not going to be able to cover anything.
It is quick, it's just a touch, to get people started. So.
Yeah, no, I had like a 2-hour conversation and we didn't even get to touch the main topics on a friend I was meeting for the first time this morning.
Yeah.
And so I realized like how conversations really go. And I'm like, I will be there for 2, 3, 4 hours and we will just be talking about everything under the sun. Let's see. So Christian Yettke, and let's see here. So I bought over this business last June. So it'd been around, been a small, mom and pop shop kind of thing in Dallas mainly. And so I'd been looking for buying a business because I just came across the concept of entrepreneurship through acquisition. Never heard of any of those words for my whole life until I came across someone whose whole platform is about buying businesses. Got in there, started learning about it, started looking for businesses. 1.5 years later, 2 years later, finally bought this one and just started going along with it. And it's what's gotten me here and anywhere in life is, in short, just been God and what he's been calling me to do. Right. And this is just the next stepping stone of that bigger calling that he's got me going on. And so I'm just trying to be as faithful as I can in that sense and to steward what he's given me. So he gave me a few things he called me to do and work with some people and to get out to network, because I never knew what networking was either until I finally started going to a few places and then getting introduced to other places like VIB and other networking locations. And I was like, I never knew this. I never grew up around it. No one ever talked about this until these past couple of years that people have, been so awesome about bringing me on and just saying, hey, I got this networking thing. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. And they're like, come with me, try it out, see if you like it. And I'm like, well, I love talking with people. I love getting to know and learn more about people. And of all things, I love helping people in any way I can. I have a specific set of skills that I'm able to help in more than others. But then when I was able to start doing all those kinds of things of helping people and doing good and getting to talk and learn more about other people, I was like, well, this is awesome. I love doing this. So now I get to have I've met like hundreds of people in just the past 2 years of getting down to sit down and talk and network and just learn about building relationships. I made very little money from any of it through like passing word of, I need a landscaper. I've gotten to make so many amazing relationships and spend time with people, get to know about them, be there for them when they needed help. They've been there for me when I needed help, been able to pray with each other. And that in itself, well, that's more rewarding to me than any dollar sign on the planet with any number of zeros behind it. So that's what drives me is how can I help? How can I be a good steward of what my Father in heaven has given me? And, he will bless that and he'll guide it if I'm doing the things right, by his word and all that. So that's just kind of how I've gotten here, what's led me down this path, and what I, focus my entire life on is, keeping Christ at the center and doing what he's called us to do. And in short, that was to love people, to love our neighbor, and which means like do what's right.
And I couldn't agree with you more on so many points you were just talking about. But tell me, I know you said you just took over and bought your own little company. Mm-hmm. Tell me more about the company, kind of what you do exactly. I know it's landscape, but tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't do so much of the Moblo Go Joe Schmo stuff. So there's a lot of landscaping companies that they just want to do that, which is fine. What we do more is on the installation and design side. So we can go with a client, like just the other day, went to a client's house. They're like, hey, we have nothing. So we go find out get some ideas of what they want plant wise and beds and retaining walls and irrigation, all this kind of stuff. So they're like, we don't have any irrigation. We need that because we want to put in these beds with these types of flowers and some stuff like that. So we go get some pictures, get them some mock-ups so we can create a design. There's several different kinds. So we can just get a simple picture even for just to give them a visual, because everyone likes their visuals. Get a picture. We can, use a software that just plugs in some stuff and make it look nice and pretty. And they're like, okay, I have an idea of what it looks like. So we can build the design for them, and we can do all different types of designs, little front beds in the front to full big redoing all around the house landscape designs.
Nice.
And so we'll do the design, and we can come in and do the installation, and whether that's the raised beds, again, the irrigation, whether they want a pool, a pergola, they want anything along those lines that they need. If it can be done outside their house and it's dealing with the landscape or something on it, I know someone who can help them and do that. And if I don't know them, then I know someone who knows them.
Excellent. And that's really what brings us to, the point of connections. Who do we know? What can we connect people with? And I think that's, the strength that you really bring, and what I like a lot about you is I feel very comfortable that when somebody talks with you or you connect somebody, it's a very solid relationship. And that's what we're all looking for.
Right.
So Christian, I really appreciate you taking time today and giving us a little insight to who you are and kind of where you're at and what brought you to this point. So with that, we're going to wrap up this episode, and I appreciate so much you coming to share with us. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Super awesome.
Yeah.